back to Spoiling Dead, the show where we talk about the latest Walking Dead episode. I am your host, Rebekah Erb. I am with my dudes, Daniel Murphy and Tony Walters.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? I forgot what I was doing over here for a second. Back to you, Rebekah.
And let's get the show started. What is it again?
I kind of ruined it. I asked her, how do you pronounce that?
It's Stradivarius?
Wait,
It's Stradivarius.
Isn't that the name of the violin?
So right.
Is that what that was?
You're so right. It is. Well, it's the guy that made it.
Oh, got it.
Why is it going to that one? Oh, no.
Gosh, it's screwed up.
Oh, no,
I
it's screwed up.
jinxed
What
this.
is it? Having technical difficulties, folks.
That's all right.
Okay, so I personally think that it was another great episode. There's like still a little touch of mystery with these scars, no communication with Hilltop, and some fair that they're talking about that Alexandra does not agree with. We get to see the new Hilltop, and last night's episode was directed by our one and only Michael Cudlitz.
Yeah.
And it was his directorial debut, which I think he did fantastic. Everybody had a lot of good things to say about him as, you know, the director on set. And it's really cool as a fan that he was able to do that. That's awesome.
That's good.
So let's start at Daryl's camp. I think it's hilarious that his dog is named Dog. Only
I love that.
Daryl. I know.
That was honestly the best part of the show for me last night.
I think so. He stole the show.
Dog.
I know.
Why would you mess around and give it a name? Like, it's just call it Dog.
Yeah, that's true. I would still need to name
primal.
it, but yeah.
I thought Merle might have been a fitting name for his dog, maybe.
Then everyone would want to shoot it.
Oh, man.
Give it a kick when you walk past it.
Yeah, and so we find out that there was There was a reason that Carol wanted to go see Daryl. Henry wants to be an apprentice at the smithy, and Carol wants Daryl to stay with Henry and kind of babysit, if you will. Because her reasoning is being idealist is dangerous, which I completely agree. You can't really be that kind of mindset, or at least it's harder, I feel like, to be able to survive and have morals. We've known this whole series.
That's
you
true.
Can't have morals.
Even Michonne said that, you know.
Oh, for sure.
We wouldn't be here if we didn't.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, you have to do some crazy crap in the apocalypse to be able to stay alive. But Carol gives Daryl a much-needed haircut that looks like she did nothing,
she
too.
did nothing.
I was really hoping.
She just, like, moved it out of his eyes a bit.
I know.
And pulled some fake hair away. 'Cause
it's just funny because it started happening and everyone has had this drastic like change about them. So I was hoping that there was going to when this big drastic haircut.
When she did that, I'm like, all right, good one.
It's like a trim that's right. But yeah, I think it was really sweet to figure out why Daryl is now the mountain man that he has become. He, set up by the river to look for Rick's body. And then he just ended up staying there. So that was like a nice little touch on that. It was a little heartfelt.
I guess it just takes away any doubt that anyone ever had about Daryl being not in it for the right reasons.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So yeah, during, that whole thing, I really liked, when the dog was caught and Henry earned his respect from Daryl. That little foot special effects was kind of neat.
Yeah, that whole scene was pretty cool. I didn't quite understand how the dog was caught up in that thing, but the way
he was in like one of like the traps, like the rabbit traps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Little kind of setup. It made me a little anxious.
Yeah, for sure.
It made me actually think: are they going to kill this dog right after introducing?
Right,
this dog?
best friend.
Why
He
would you
finally
do that?
got a friend that understands him.
I know. Poor thing.
No, it was good.
It was really good. And then, of course, Mama Bear Carol is always watching over her cub.
I thought that was funny, too.
I liked that.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she's there. Like,
of course she would be.
All the urgency that we had was just immediately washed away. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, well, Carol was just watching the whole thing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, she's been through enough stuff as is for herself, but also
literally-
for the kids that she's been across.
She's
so
always the one that's 6 steps ahead.
yeah, for sure. And then we see that Daryl has scars as well. So there's quite a setup with
kind of
what's going
battle
on.
happened. Yeah, I wonder.
To me, I feel like, because so far we see that Daryl has scars and Michonne does. And with all this kind of hinting towards
didn't wanna
something
go to
happening in the
Hilltop.
past. Right. I think it was like a mark of
So it had to have something
them
to do with
doing
why
something
Maggie
wrong.
left, I'm assuming.
I think so too. But yeah, speaking of Hilltop and everything, the journey to Hilltop with Michonne, Sadiq, Mag,
I figured
Connie.
out what it is.
What is
They're
it?
so against the fair because the last time they did it, Michonne got injured in a jousting accident. Like, we're not doing fairs again.
I was so
Don't you remember
excited. I was like,
happened
oh, what is it? What's
at
your
the last
theory?
fair when Michonne got, the splinters,
And
got
that's,
Daryl?
and that's why no more medieval fairs.
I don't know what happened.
I was really excited. You usually have pretty interesting theories. This one,
that
maybe
one
not
was
so.
totally bogus.
But yeah, they're checking to see if their story is true, which it happens to be true. But she's still leery of these newcomers, which, I mean, I guess makes sense. But after all of this, I feel like that kind of is the moment to not be so
Right. One thing
leery.
I'm liking about this new season or half season or whenever it was they started changing the writers.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I like about it is the way some of the stuff is written in the explanation of things, like how when he's describing music being the key to life
Yes.
and survival.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's definitely true.
Absolutely.
Not directly, but in the grand scheme of things,
Yeah.
music is a big thing that just connects people.
Like what he said is it separates us from the animals.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right, and people come together for music.
Mhm.
All types of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the way that some of the stuff's been written. I'm just not liking the way some of the action stuff is being written.
Yeah,
I'm
just
not-
like the execution of things.
Some of the execution, there
Yeah.
you go, is not... The writing is good in the dialogue.
Mhm.
Even with Daryl, the way they're kind of letting us get more from Daryl.
Mhm.
They are breaking this in slowly as the way they've done it. They haven't just,
Mhm.
like, given him a ton of lines.
Right.
But... So I'm enjoying that. But yeah, some of the execution is
Mhm.
wrong.
Mm-hmm. I can see that, and maybe it could be. Do you think that's how you feel for the whole season so far, or just this episode? Because maybe it could be like,
Last week's a
Cutlet's
little...
kind of a
last
funny
week-
way
no, I
of
don't
like new
believe
director,
it was how it was
whatever.
directed. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I just don't like the way that it feels like some of the jumping around is just rushed.
I agree
bit.
with you. Yeah, I absolutely
Like,
agree.
Why couldn't they have just shown Eugene getting split from them? Like, I like the way they did that opening scene, even though it was super duper short.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way it was done. And it could have
Absolutely.
included the separation somehow. Or,
Absolutely.
because they tried to do it the week before with Eugene, like, oh, just leave me here. You know,
Mhm.
why did they just? It was just felt a bit floppy.
I completely agree because
Using that one
wanna
as an example.
You want to see that. That's like my only complaint that I have of the
It's held up in
episode
some
is
barn somewhere. you
yeah,
know?
it's like, why not show that? Why go through all of the thing of them trying to run away and then covering up in the muck and have such a wide blank?
Right, and then they were separated after that. Like,
Right.
they went through hell just a little bit ago. Like,
right.
come on now.
Yeah. And like her being like all beat up and like really just not like mentally there.
right,
So it's
there
like,
was a-
what
right,
happened?
right.
I know, but I think that the next episode, that's what we're gonna get. We're
Well,
probably gonna get
we
the
are, but I
flashback
still believe that
into
though
what
that they're gonna
happened
just
there.
carry on from where, like, they'll show Eugene now
But I think
where
they're,
he's
yeah,
at.
they're gonna show Eugene. I think Eugene's
And then in
part of that story.
dialogue, they'll like fill in
That's
the
not enough for
blanks. That's
me.
not enough either. Yeah, I completely
I don't know.
agree.
I think that we might see it pick up like right
I hope
where
that they do, but because
Eugene
she was
happened.
so wiped out and so
Mm-hmm.
disorientated, and I think obviously what they're trying to do there is the voices are getting in her head and it's freaking her out and it doesn't make sense and it's sending her into this and she's weak and running and blah blah
Mm-hmm.
blah. All of that combined, what they were trying I think show was the whisperers and how they get in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that they're just trying to bring fear back into the
It's
show because nobody's been
scaring them,
afraid
yeah.
of the.
It's
because
because this is completely new. It doesn't make any sense at all to them. Like, why are they talking? Like, this is now they're planning to get us. Like, that's what Eugene said in the thing for next time. Like,
And
they
even
know
for
I'm
her, when
here.
she does wake up, she's like, they can't be out there right now. They're not gonna. They don't know what they're up against, you know. So it is
right,
a
but
big
it's just
thing.
like they went through all that at the beginning and made it so big and scary, but yet when they found her, it was just like, oh, she's still there by the tree. There was no danger at all. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck? They were just right there. Whereas,
Yeah.
This was just a bit.
Yeah, and she shot a flare into the air, like she didn't bring attention to herself in front of these
Why
guys.
didn't she shoot a flare off
Right.
2 hours ago? Like when she
At the
could have shot
barn?
right. It doesn't
Or
this
whatever.
I hope they fill the gap, but I
They could
don't
have
feel
stayed.
like they will.
She could have climbed that water tower, hung up there, shot a flare into there, and people could have
They
came
should
and
have
saved
stayed
them.
up the fucking water tower to begin with. Pardon my French, Tony.
Yeah, which I agree with that too.
That last week they should just hung out up there.
Yeah. The whole thing with Eugene and
I get why
Rosita
they
could
didn't
have
do that,
so
but-
much potential, but like you said, with the execution of it, it's just not
They tried to make
feeling.
it
It's feeling weird.
It felt grand at the moment, and then thinking about it, it was just like,
Very lackluster.
right.
Yeah. But so Hilltop's people come and meet Michonne on the road and everything, and they're there to go see Rosita. And before they go
That,
in, there's
again,
somebody
felt
watching.
a bit tense, didn't it?
It did feel tense, randomly tense.
Like they're just. We're gonna try and be really nice again to these people. Like,
right,
something's
exactly.
happened, hasn't it?
Something has definitely happened, and somebody, most likely the Whisperers, are watching them in the woods.
Well, isn't it?
At least I would hope that it's
Isn't
the
it
Whisperers.
true that possibly somehow the Whisperers can turn the groups against each other? I don't know if it's something, maybe an incident. If they coordinated an attack somehow, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that it comes back to the zombies, to the Whisperers.
Mm-hmm. It has to be.
I don't know.
It's gotta be.
Be cool.
But now we're at Hilltop. It was really cool to see how much it's grown over the 6 years, and that little music montage, I really liked it. With like the big aerial shot over, and at first I thought Tara was the new leader.
Yeah, and they just kind of bounced around them all, and it was just like that. I don't know. That was another problem.
You
of mine.
didn't like it?
I think it didn't feel like Walking Dead at all. I think it felt
No, it was
completely
just
different.
like-
but I did enjoy the sequence.
Have you noticed
Yeah.
also, Tony, not to deviate,
Oh, no,
have
you're
you
fine.
noticed the new camera angles and camera like
For sure.
the shot?
Definitely have.
Some of them feel really out of place to me. I
Like
don't
the
know.
aerial ones, like when they were following Eugene on the water
Yeah, there was-
towel, and like
there was
the
a
weird.
wide shot. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was them coming through the woods or coming. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it just was like, this feels
See,
wrong. It doesn't feel right.
I can understand like how it doesn't feel like Walking Dead, and I do agree, but I like them. I like these new shots. I liked that that little music montage. To me it fit well. He had his own like type of style that he kind of followed throughout the whole episode. But I don't know. I'm always easy to please, so
No,
you know.
it's not that. I think it's just me just adjusting to their changes.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously with the time jump and still kind of not knowing what's going on there, they got to have a few surprises for us because,
For sure.
you know, even if it ends up Maggie is with the Commonwealth, who is where maybe Rick is. We don't really know yet where Rick's gone, if it is Commonwealth or it is this
The
new world order.
yep.
But she's with the Commonwealth, right?
Well,
Maggie,
she's with Georgie.
who is with Commonwealth,
which
or do
is-
we not know?
We don't
that
really
yet?
know.
We don't
Okay.
know it, but a lot
The
of
chances
people
are they're gonna meet
going
up
for that. Yeah,
in a movie at some point, maybe. I don't know. Here's what I
probably.
was thinking. I
Probably.
know this has nothing to do with what you're talking
Oh
about.
no, you're
But
fine.
wouldn't it be? They say that Rick is not going to be in the show. What if Rick wrote a letter that found its way back to Michonne?
Okay. Yeah.
That would be kind of.
I mean, if
interesting.
when they say like he's not coming back to the show, like he's just like strictly not coming back to the show, I would hope they would at least do
I
that.
mean, they can still talk about Rick. They can be contact with
Yeah.
Rick, perhaps that way.
But then again, like it doesn't mean that like Michonne and all of them won't be in the new Rick movie. You know what I
they
mean? Like
might
see
be.
some
They
type
might
of
be.
you know
where they reunite. Possibly.
yeah.
They could do that. It would be strange. I think they're just abusing it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand it, and that's a lot of this is they got to ride around the stuff they probably already had planned out.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
they're making some changes. It's the fact that Maggie just disappears, that's pretty shitty.
It is really shitty.
It is shitty, but if you look at it, because we were so on the inside of everything, if you didn't know that she wasn't coming back at all from this episode, it wouldn't seem shitty. It'd just be like, okay,
Here's
they're
my
waiting
problem,
to hold
though,
off her
Tony.
reveal.
They
Right.
had her for the week before that. You know they don't shoot this shit in order. They had her. They had her.
Right.
The sets are built. They had her there.
Right, but the thing
Shoot
is,
something.
the thing is that she's contracted for so many episodes. So
So what if then possibly whatever this event was, maybe Maggie left because of it. What
That's
if
the
they
vibe I
do
get.
have a couple of episodes shot already with her that will touch on what happened?
right,
there?
that's what I would assume. But based
but
off
here's
of
what my problem is with
Jadis's
that.
Instagram thing, she said she wasn't coming back at all.
Right, all the technicalities, but also in the way they're telling the story now, they flat out even had Tara have to say it. She's not coming back. This is permanent.
Right.
Hello, viewers. I'm talking to you, really. I'm talking to you
Yeah,
guys.
absolutely.
It was just like, there's no way in my mind, even though I like to I like to think that maybe they will show it, but I don't think they're gonna.
I don't think so either. But I think, okay, so let's say Georgie is Commonwealth, where Rick is and Jadis is, that's New World Order. So in the movies, they'll just collide those two worlds.
That's
So-
That would
possible,
be fine too.
I mean, that makes...
Like Maggie's with
I
the
feel like-
Commonwealth and Rick's with New World Order,
Yeah,
and
and the
then now
movie's
they're
gonna
like
be them.
enemies.
I don't know about enemies, but they'll probably
Just
just
cross
have
paths.
a cross paths in the movie. Yeah.
No, that would be good. Again, it's just unnecessary at this point, but I don't know.
Right.
If that's how they're going to tell the rest of the story, it would be frustrating, wouldn't it not, to know in, say, the third movie that in Rick's world there is a cure, but the rest of the team in the show have no idea what's going on.
Oh, right.
It would be bad, wouldn't it?
Yeah. To me, with these movies, the only way that I feel like I could be like completely fulfilled and satisfied is if they did some type of proper, completely finale, final series ending with the show, and then did the movies, and then our people from the show show up in the movies.
I don't think that's going to be the case at all.
But to
then
me,
they end it with the movies somehow, and then that's... I feel like that would be the
that would
proper
be
way to
okay.
do it.
yeah, that would be
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think that's what they're doing at all, though. I think the show's going to continue on. I think that we might even get a whole like lineup change here in the next like season and a half or something.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
then,
weird
and then they'll
because
just do spin-off movies just occasionally, just to kind of fulfill people who are wanting the old show.
But
Right.
that's part of my problem, I think, is knowing all of that and knowing obviously it's whether there's trouble there or not, or whether it's just contracts and all that nonsense. But because knowing that, I know that affects the way the show has been written, and I
Right.
know that affects some of the storyline.
Well, the show's always been written as a show that's never going to end, which is the show's problem because it's hard to
Right.
give
And
to
Because
end
I
something
think people,
like
I think
this.
their problem is exactly that. I think people want an ending. I think people want to know what the hell's going on. Like, and I think it would be smart for them to do that. And I think maybe they are, because the reason I think they are is because they're doing this last minute branch out to just connect the dots, like you say. And I do have faith in the fact that they're going to do that. And I think with the movies, that is the best way to do that. But I think what we're starting to see in the show, and I like to believe that, is that with all these different worlds again, and we've seen the ones we're used to, and now there's two possibly new ones there. It's like I would like to start seeing some connection happening now in the show before we have to wait for a movie.
I completely agree. Give us a little tiny something.
Right. What I
to
really,
appease
what
us
I'm
and
really
then
thinking
explain it.
here, and this sounds ridiculous, but it's just like I have this idea in my head and I can't get it out of my head. Is that, and I don't know what they are in the comics or if they're even going to do that, but wouldn't it be cool if the zombies out there are really pretty well gone, and that they've implanted people, the Whisperers, to just keep everyone out there believing that, But then it's like, if these people, here's what I don't like about the Whisperers already. If that's what they are out there in the woods, and they're just walking around all slow, just letting themselves be killed.
Right.
I
What the heck?
totally get what you
That
mean.
opening
I
scene,
totally,
right?
totally
They
get what
were
you mean.
right there, 2 trees back.
Right,
No
right.
matter that they came back later and rescued her because she shot a flare, they were nowhere to be seen. But when you've seen these Whisperers or whatever they are, they'll take a machete, no problem. Like, what are they drinking? The Kool-Aid up there? Like, what really is going on with that? And I can't think of anything that makes any sense to me that I'm going to be happy with.
Right.
What if they have walkers in their group as well, but they can't be detected from the walkers because they're wearing all the guts and stuff?
Okay. But
they move with a herd.
Yeah, like they're the center of the herd.
Right.
And they're surrounded, which makes sense because in that one scene where they're watching them, they're all milling around in one area. Like the Whisperers are in the middle, and the rest of the walkers are kind of following around in the middle.
I'd buy that, but that's risky.
Oh no, super risky. But if that's how what they've been doing for years or whatever, and they've just got it down to a science, then cool, whatever.
Right.
Explain the sickness then.
Right. I mean, we can go back to that all the time.
My problem. This is my problem with the Whisperers. I can't find I can't find a solution that doesn't have a flaw.
Right. Well, I mean,
so I'm excited, but
really
I'm frustrated.
The writing's fault with bringing that whole concept into the show. Like they shouldn't have brought it in.
They're dragging it out too, aren't they? Goodness me.
They are. I would have liked to see more of like what the actual Whisperers were.
The finale is next week.
Yesterday.
And we're still not going to find out. We're just going to find more of them around Eugene's
You don't think
barn.
we'll actually like see them next?
I think we'll see more of them, but there will be no explanation as to what they are yet.
Right. As long as we get like an actual legit like, hey, here's like a first on look and like a little touch on the Whisperers, that'd be great. But if they're still like going to tease it like they have been.
Yeah, with the voices and the flashing.
Yeah,
and the
no teasing. Maybe not like completely, reveal them as a huge whole and whatever. But at least like give us a little more for the mid-season finale.
Yeah, I just can't. I want to know more about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I just don't. Yeah. Damn it, tell us more.
Tell us more. I mean,
what do you think they are? It's hard because they've already done them in the comics, so it's like, do you just read about it and figure out who they were?
Right.
Or do you just wait and see and hope maybe they've done something different? Because
yeah. See, to me, like I feel like if they're, the comic readers out there that are still watching the show are probably more irritated or frustrated than we are because they're like,
they could
get on with it. Like they're right there. Like we know the Whisperers just because we've heard about it from the comics and the showrunner said it, but we haven't seen the Whisperers like the comic book readers have.
Talking
so
about
like
it for the last 2 seasons.
Right, for sure.
It feels like now.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
it's just like,
So besides that, with Jesus being the leader,
how do you feel about that? Did they say her last week?
Yeah, because Michonne thought that Maggie was still there.
Good point.
But when I saw Tara, and I'm like, oh, it's Tara. That's the she, whatever.
Right, good call.
But it's kind of cool that she said she, and you can now see like why Sadiq was acting kind of funny. He was like, oh, you want to take him to Hilltop? Like, oh crap! Like she's gonna find out.
To see Maggie.
Right. But I think that Jesus is perfectly capable of being a leader. He definitely has the smarts.
He's got the right name.
He has, but he obviously does not want to be, and he said it seasons before. I don't know who. It was probably with Maggie that he was talking to, that he never wanted to be in charge.
And wrestle.
Yeah.
That's all he wants.
Which, while we're on, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Love that whole like little jump scare. Love the little like, who is this? And it ends up being Aaron. They're totally banging, right?
I think.
Are we the only ones, Tony and I, that got that vibe, like that chemistry?
Yeah, like
there was some chemistry.
They're broing out there in the woods for sure.
They really are doing a lot of wrestling.
I love that Jesus is training him in secret. I think that's really cool because, like, even last season, there's like just a flippant like dialogue where Aaron's like, "Hey, can you teach me that?" Blah blah blah. But there's definitely something going on. There's something.
Hold on. Also, in last season, you got that little like, "Can you teach me that thing?" But have they been training for 6 years? Like he's still a little heavy on his left foot after 6 years? Dude's been. I mean, at least he's committed. At least he's committed.
That's a good call.
6 years.
Who else you got though? There's not many other people probably on that team left, is there?
No. But even with like the still heavy on the foot, like. That's not a bad thing after 6 years. I figure there's little weaknesses that all professional fighters have.
Maybe that was gay man code for something else.
He did leap through the air and tackle him off of a horse, so I think that's pretty good.
Right, exactly. And he has a badass metal hand.
Which makes no sense as to why he needs a boyfriend. I mean, he's
Just
got
use-
a stranger right there.
I don't
Slap
have a
some
penis.
jam in that thing. You
So
I don't have a penis. Where's this going exactly?
how do you think that would feel?
Not good.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's like smooth and cool. Like it
Not
Better
good.
than
lather that thing up.
Better than nothing, wouldn't it?
True.
This
Anyway.
is a family show.
Probably dual purpose hand.
Anyway, yeah. So this I think feels. I think this part feels goes along with the scars. But Aaron, Michonne, and Daryl are not allowed to Hilltop. Perhaps anybody from Alexandria aren't allowed at Hilltop.
But they were there, though,
which
weren't they?
seemed like a ruling by Michonne. Because
Oh.
Aaron was like,
They were
oh, if
welcoming to
Michonne
them.
knew that I was breaking protocol, something. Because Maggie's not there anymore. But when they, which isn't, this is in the sneak peek, and we'll get on that here in a little bit. But, and then Jesus said Alexandria isn't on board with the fair. And he's like trying to keep a contact through Aaron to then, maybe get them on board. So what is this fair? Like, it can't be some not hoity-toity, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like a frivolous. It can't be a frivolous like fair.
To me, I was
What do you
thinking it
think
was
it is?
more of like, because they are connected. It's just very formal now.
It does seem,
so
very
they're
formal.
still trading food and stuff, I would imagine. aren't
Yeah.
they? So
I don't know. I feel like the fair it's exactly what you think it is. It's just everybody coming together
And celebrating.
and to celebrate
And
their
maybe
unity.
Alexandria thinks that it is frivolous and nobody needs to do that. And
Right.
Yeah, it could be. It makes more sense.
that does make sense. And that totally makes
And-
sense because there's that one vision that Carl had
I was gonna say
Oh,
with
man.
the owl and that whole thing.
What about
and
the
Yeah,
dinner table
but
where
the-
Negan was sitting up there
that
with him?
too?
Yeah,
that
yeah,
too.
the vision that Rick had of the fair that was happening and
Yowzers.
all that stuff. Like this is happening.
It'd be
And
crazy
the
if-
fair is where the Whisperers make their appearance in the comic books, if I remember
Ah,
It's a big deal.
So maybe
dun,
it's-
dun,
yeah, there you
dun.
go.
So it is a frivolous fair, just
So-
trying to be okay.
Yeah.
So okay, with that, do you guys agree with Hilltop or do you agree with Alexandria?
I
Go
think they're
along with
all
the fair
bitches, we
and
just
be
need to get
frivolous
over.
and put your guard down.
This is my problem. Ready? I don't care. Because
Hey, look, he's coming over to my side.
no, because I don't care. Because they've given me no reason to care or pick a side. Because we don't know what's happened yet.
Right.
So it's just
so
like
maybe wait till like the next half of the season.
to me,
for
I'm
you to,
annoyed
like...
seeing all this bickering.
But if it is just a frivolous fair, what are with the scars then?
Right? Because it just seems like something happened there, obviously. And then, wait, let's flash back a minute. There was nothing that happened that could have caused that, right? That we've seen already.
No, it's definitely within the 6 years.
She wasn't that. She didn't get injured from the bridge explosion or debris, right?
No.
Okay.
But in the sneak peek, because I'm thinking that it's something that Michonne did, because in the sneak peek we see Michonne and all of them actually arriving at the doorsteps of Hilltop, and that one archer lady that was pretty much like secondhand like bodyguard to Maggie, came from Hilltop or came from the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Seemed super shady towards Michonne, and was like kind of like held her bow out there, was like, your turn, mother
something
effer.
happened. I think that's how they're gonna like explain Maggie.
Oh, for sure. Because then they had to put down all of their weapons. Then everybody put down their weapons, and then they opened up the gates. So I feel like with her attitude towards Michonne did something like maybe killed somebody or allowed something to happen. I don't know. And then those scars, those marks, are the marks of the law that they broke, if you will.
Do you
if
think
that
she
makes
believes
sense.
Rick's still alive,
I don't think so.
like Daryl does?
I think
Because they clearly all have knowledge of never finding the body. They all
Right.
look for the body.
I think with Daryl is like he's just I I think he's rational enough to be like, okay, like he's just gone. But he's a tracker. So it's like, how could I not
Logically,
find
to
his
him,
body?
It makes no sense. There should have been a piece of him.
Exactly.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Right, and Daryl's out there like catching walkers left and right and killing walkers. Like he's looking for Rick's body.
Yeah, he's sifting through everything to find him.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it means zombie Rick's gonna step in a trap. He tried to have to explain himself. It's not for food, it's for zombies. Like
right.
He just felt awkward. Like obviously he's out there doing that. I mean, it's what you would do.
Oh,
really.
For sure. Yeah, because I mean that's his brother. Like,
right. When you don't realize what you got till
spot.
It's gone. Even if there's problems, people have.
And Daryl
problems,
had problems before, as in like
Daryl's
being around
got issues
civilization
in general
and needing
from
to
the
be by
get-go.
himself. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So this just sent him down like a whole nother path.
He's
of
evolving
things.
daily, as is everyone else.
Yeah, but now he's out there searching for Eugene with Aaron and Jesus, which I'm very anxious to see what they do with that. I hope it
Being the
ties
finale,
up what we
I do hope
missed.
they give us something good.
Yeah.
I
I feel like I know like episodes before are kind of slow. There's a few things, that I could complain about or whatever. But all in all, for me, like their mid-season finales and their like finales or like season finales have been pretty darn good. Like I feel like that they've always delivered on those. So
my issue is not that
I'm
it's
excited.
going to be good. It's that it's just going to make sense.
Yeah.
Because another big issue with me is that in 6 years, nobody's died.
Right.
So the
yeah.
zombies are not a threat. They've got that shit on lockdown. So now all of a sudden these whisperers show up. So they're obviously all a bit like bamboozled by it. It's just, I hope that it just, I don't know, it just doesn't, hope it makes sense. I struggle to believe that nobody died in the last 6 years.
Right. I agree. But also in the same vein, like
So if they kill
they've been
someone
survivors
now,
and
is what
they're
I'm
like
saying.
really have a system down. They probably don't go out a whole lot because they have all of their crops and things right there.
Right.
So they probably don't need to travel as much.
True.
So then that means like it's
but
less of a
also-
chance
Here's
to
my-
get.
Also, if they would have came back and just been like, "Hey, Maggie died," would that have been satisfying for you?
No,
Or-
it wouldn't have been.
Absolutely
Because-
not. Yeah.
Because you don't kill that. You don't. Right, that's
You
true.
don't kill off a
Tony.
character like that, like that. Like
Right.
Right, but still,
I'm just being as far on the
then
other.
don't
end
do a
as I can be.
6-year time jump.
Right.
When they've only the whole time we've known these people. How long's it been? How many years?
Like 3 years, maybe.
Right.
I
How
don't
many
know.
people-
before this like
Right.
huge
How many people
time
have
jump, yeah, it's been
died?
like
They're even
Right.
doing it. They're even showing us the decay of the zombies. That their Walking Dead logo gets grosser every season. Like they're showing us that the zombies are not a threat anymore. So now that they are, obviously that's But I just
yeah.
still frustrated with the lack of knowing things.
I agree. Hopefully next week they will quench your knowing thirst.
They better give me something.
But other than that, I don't know. I'm okay with the direction. Very excited for the mid-season. It's gonna be weird. It seems really quick that the mid-season is here already. Like it really does. I can't believe, because then it's like April when it comes back on. Is it that
See,
long? Is it
that's-
April?
And then having to wait. Like that's why I'm saying. Like I don't think I'm like as committed as I was to the current story, to be
Right.
interested as much as
Like
I
to be
normally
freaking
am.
out for the
it-
next
right.
half. Yeah.
Because they haven't even given us anything with Negan yet.
Right. Very, very little with Negan. So do you think then next episode is going to be a lot more Negan?
I hope
Or are we
so,
gonna
but I
be
don't,
at
I
Hilltop?
don't think
Let's
so.
look at it like this.
I think
real
we're gonna
quick.
get. I think we're gonna get like kind of a whisper heavy
Who
episode.
went to go get
Gotcha.
Eugene?
Aaron, Jesus, and Daryl.
So all of the fucking strong people left, right? So
Right.
they're gonna need to get Negan out when some shit goes down back at the camp, because the Whisperers are smart enough to double back around and do two things at once. So that's when Negan gets out.
Yeah, maybe
And
that's your
she
season.
will let her
maybe that's your
him out.
Maybe that's your cliffhanger. Is
She
Negan
lets him
getting out of
out.
the cage.
Oh.
That could be a good cliffhanger.
Grimes. She's the one.
And I completely agree.
Judith
I
will be the
think
one.
Judith is going
So
to
I
be the
think
one.
while they're using Eugene as bait, the Whisperers are. This is how dangerous they are. I think they're using Eugene as a trap. They know I'm in here, but why aren't they killing anyone then? They led her there. Like it's maybe strategic. They have a plan. They're flushing people up where
Because
they
they
need them to go.
didn't show Rosita
Right.
actually shooting the flare, right?
They did show the flare going up.
And then them
Yeah.
finding Rosita. So it could be what you're saying is
I know
they
they
strategically.
showed the gun on the ground, but
Oh, they
Yeah, but
did.
she was
Yeah,
so
the
out of
guns
it.
on
It
the
could be.
Yeah. And she didn't have anything on her. Did she have her bag on her?
I don't remember that now.
Like, why would you have
see?
just like a
But
random,
think
that's
of
like
it
in your
this way.
satchel type of thing to have. I don't know if that makes
If
sense.
you were trying to get people where you wanted them,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you guys are giving it too much credit. But.
no, I think that's it. I think we've figured it out.
Yes.
I think that
I think
they're
that
gonna...
we say that every week.
No, well, mostly we're right. You guys were right about this last
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, for sure.
What was it you guys said?
There's
and
been
it
a few
ended up being
times that
the
we were
case?
right.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think that if they're smart enough to be able to do that as Whispers and hide, they've got to be smart enough to have a plan. Like, why would they
Yeah.
not lead all the trap of Eugene here while they come back to
Well,
the
and
town
like you
and
said
get everyone
before,
out?
they've gotten their kinks out. They've been doing this for a while, so they
had
have
6
to
years to
have
plan it.
right. There's gotta, yeah, they've gotta be.
It's 6 years to plan it.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree. I don't know. We'll see. I guess. Hopefully, it's something cool like that. Something.
You know what it'll
like-
end up being? It'll be that it'll be that like Hispanic gang from season 2. Just dressed up.
I know exactly what you're. Yeah, but at the nursing
man.
home.
The nursing
yeah.
home. It's them lot.
That would be
They
ridiculous.
mastered it.
That would be so ridiculous that I might actually be okay with that.
Yeah. I'm just, yeah.
Kind of like a Morales type.
I
thing.
hope they give us a bit more story to make us more connected to it before they give us a cliffhanger.
Right, for sure. I agree.
As always.
Agreed. Other than that, is there any other like last comments?
No, I think
questions.
I think I've
Do you have
said
any
enough.
questions?
No, I've got absolutely nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. What do you got going on, Daniel, in your professional life?
Same as the last time.
Can you talk about?
I can talk about a little. Yeah, I can talk
Okay,
about stuff.
yeah.
We're working on desk care. We're doing now more announcements of our cast and stuff right now.
I
for
saw
that.
new nurse
Yeah, we got
announcement.
Julianne Prescott as Nurse Velma. She's the first of like 20.
Oh my
There's a lot of
gosh.
nurses in there.
Picture turned out great. I love.
Yeah.
I love the.
Yeah, she's
the
good.
Thing. That was good.
And then we're finishing up Kill Dolly Kill. We gotta make some changes for Trauma on that, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
You know
Let's
about
get in
that.
there.
And then that's pretty much it for right now. Midwest Action Fest coming up.
A lot of things on the
Third
horizon.
Weekend of
Third weekend of
April.
April. Third weekend of April, and then which will be like that every year, so you guys can always plan third weekend in April, and then Horror Fest will be first weekend of October. So nice, good start to like the Halloween season and everything.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things on the horizon. We always
Yeah.
have stuff going on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, Tony and I are still working out rad mini movies, trying to come up with some interesting
good
things
ideas.
to do. We have a really, really fun Christmas idea. Should I talk about the synopsis for the Christmas one?
No, not yet.
No
Not yet?
spoilers.
Okay,
Not yet.
okay, no spoilers. But it's really, really cute. We'll tell you about it when the cameras
All right,
are shut
sounds
off. Still working on the monster movie. I was almost done with it, and then we decided to make some changes that are like so much better. So just trying to finish that up, and still doing a little Fatal Fae stuff here and there. But other than that, not a whole lot going on.
It's hibernation season.
It is.
I'm also doing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes, that's such
I'm
a
actually
good
just
game.
trying to finish the damn thing so I can just get it done.
Yeah, I am trying to finish Horizon Zero Dawn, which I'm at a spot that there's no possible way that I'm gonna be able to get out. But then like the door is shut behind me, and I'm like in one of the cave things, so I'm like several layers down into the
Beat
ground.
that. We'll talk about that later too. I might
It's
have
so
that
hard.
answer.
But I want to finish that so I can play Kingdom Come.
Ugh.
and then I can play Red Dead.
Hope you've got 2 years.
So I have like
for
a
Kingdom
list
Come.
of games. Shoot.
There's a lot going on in the game world.
In the game world. Yeah.
What about
Tony?
you, Tony?
Just over here waiting. Not a lot, really. I'm hoping to get some movie reviews out here soon because I haven't seen a movie for a while. Like, the new Fantastic Beasts movie's out, and I don't really care for the franchise so far, but the new one, I don't know. I just love Harry Potter, so I feel like I gotta go see that.
You got a Walking Dead actor.
Creed 2 comes out here, like, this week. Tomorrow, Creed 2 comes out, and I really want to see that, but I don't know if I'm going to chance to even get to see that this week. But I definitely guaranteed will be seeing the animated Spider-Man movie that comes out in the beginning of December, so I'll see that. But yeah, I don't really know as far as everything Rebekah said. I got to meet Coolio over the weekend, hang out with him. That was pretty cool. that's the highlight of my weekend, I guess. But yeah, so take them out. Then yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, you can find us Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Right?
Yes.
We're on Eastern time.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
But next week is the mid-season, so you won't see us for a few months. I'm so sorry for you guys. I know you look forward to seeing our handsome and beautiful faces every
I'm hoping
week.
my hair when we come back will be this long, and
Oh!
yours will be like bald.
Oh, yeah.
You just keep getting shorter.
Let's
and
do
it's
it.
just longer.
I'll get longer, you get shorter.
I like
we'll
it.
see what we get.
So tune in. Tune in next week.
We'll be back next week.
But then tune in after that so you can see all of the amazing changes that we go through.
Right.
We're going to have a time jump. We're going to
just-
have our own time jump.
Laziness.
Yeah, next week will also be the last episode on this set.
Whoa, that's
I
true.
forgot about that.
Yeah, so that's changing
But
too.
that's exciting.
It's like a bittersweet thing.
Get a new set.
Yeah. It'll be fun to decorate. I like to decorate.
It'll be a new year, new set.
Oh.
There you go.
Well, thanks for
2019.
2019.
Oh, Thought Factory. Sorry, you just jumped in. But
We're
we'll
still here.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. We're live at 6 p.m. Eastern time, man. We'll catch you next week.
Oh, who is it?
Thought Factory.
Oh, thanks for tuning in.
All right.
We'll see you next
Bye.
week. Bye, guys.